Welcome back to the channel, folks, and we definitely appreciate you watching. We appreciate the likes and all the comments. We got a good one for you today, and I'll tell you why. We just ran Holy Cross, and we got the Jeep here. We got it back. I've been back a couple days. I haven't washed this thing. I haven't done nothing to it. We're gonna look at this vehicle, the undercarriage, and we're gonna show you what damage was done on the trail. We didn't sustain any body damage, but we definitely hit some metal underneath, and we got scratches and scrapes, and there is a little damage. So we're going to show you a Jeep on 35s with a 6.5-inch lift, what kind of damage you can expect on a trail like that. I mean, of course, if you got 37s, 38s, 39s, it's probably, you'll probably have less. But if you run it with, say, 33s or 35s, I'll just show you what can happen. The Jeep's driving fine. We don't have any issues basically, but we're just going to show you what happened. Right, so let's just get into it. Like I say, I haven't touched it or nothing. We got Holy Cross mud and dirt on the vehicle here. We did, like I say, it's been a couple days. I've had a couple days to think about the trail and everything. We did winch in a couple areas. It was slippery because it had rained the night before. You can see our winch, it's all jumbled up. I gotta spool that out, but definitely recommend a winch on that trail, and going with somebody else, it's pretty tricky. Recovery gear, winch, and a couple people would always be nice. I did scuff up the fender well a little bit, and that's not a big deal at all because this bumped into a rock in one area, and then I think we scuffed it a little bit down here, so that's not too bad. And now let's look at the front. So the first thing is, I am an absolute believer of these heavy-duty differential covers right here. I mean, there's lots of different brands. There's Yukon, ARB. Some of these are made out of steel and welded. But I mean, it's definitely a must on a trail like that, because you can see here that the diff was hit several times right here. And there's like a burr raised up, not a big deal. And then it just scraped along here. Underneath, let's see, the track bar, we did hit it against some rocks, but like I say, we were going slow. There is some scrapes all over this track bar because that's the previous owner. He did a lot of rock crawling and stuff, but that's all that's really occurred here. Another thing I want to point out is I'm running CV axles. These are the O'Reilly axles. And if you look on Deck's Jeeps, he talks about these CV axles, and I gotta tell you what, I'm very impressed. I've run a bunch of 6s now, and this is a 7, and I've been using them for months, and they're working great. So, and I'm really careful about crawling obstacles. What I always try to do is hit an obstacle straight on with the wheels straight, because that's gonna be the strongest way. For the CVs are the strongest, and even the U-joint axles are the strongest when they're going straight. So, I mean, of course, sometimes you have to turn a little bit, but I try to straighten up on everything and hit everything straight. But the CVs are working great. These are from O'Reilly, and they just fit in there. This does not have ABS. This is a tone ring, but it just rides in there nice. And another thing is they're a lot smoother on just regular pavement and stuff. So that's my take on those. Sliders, I definitely recommend those, but I didn't really hit the rock sliders. I've looked them over. No issues with the sliders, but boy, I would definitely have sliders. The front drive shaft, it's got some paint peeling off, but I didn't hit anything on the front drive shaft. I did hit the lower control arm a little bit. Some of that was already there, but there is some scuffs, so scuffing along the lower control arms a little bit. But like I say, we were going really slow in 4 low first gear, and then when you do hit something, you don't totally just mangle it. So slow and steady. So we're in the back now, and this is a custom drive shaft. It basically is a lot thicker wall, and instead of the 2.5 inch, it's a 3.5 inch. So, but I didn't hit the drive shaft, thankfully. There was a time when I was on some rocks, and the rock was like right here, and if I wouldn't have had my buddy and spot me up, and we actually had to stack a few rocks, I would have just probably smashed this against a bunch of rocks, which is no good. So luckily we were paying attention. I didn't smash it up. There's a lot of big rocks on that trail, egg-shaped rocks and stuff, and it's easy to smash up a drive shaft. You got to always be driving up on rocks to lever up your differentials. And so just be aware of that. You want a stout drive shaft for that trail. I definitely promise you that. We're coming back here. We could see we got it. This is a Chrysler 8 1/4. It's holding up really well. We got some scuffing here, and then we'll look back here, but we got some little dents and stuff there. These lower mounts, shock mounts, they definitely got hit a bit. And then you can see I put a new bolt set up on this, and you can see this was riding over some rocks too, but superficial damage. And then over here we have some new scuffing and stuff. Some of that was already there. So nothing too crazy at all. That's not going to stop you from getting off a trail. All right, so back here, we got a little oil leaking a little bit. Before I did the trail, this really wasn't here, but I think it's just weeping a little bit from the drain plug there. But this got hit a little bit, scuffing here and a little scuffing here. And you can see here, but not a big deal. And once again, boy, I am a firm believer of these covers. Whether you use Yukon, whatever you get, because you get stuck and you'll back up, and then if there's a rock there, you can just smash this in and literally just cave it right in on your ring gear. So all bad, you know what I mean? So covers, definitely recommend those. We do have a gas tank skid, came with the vehicle, and we do have a couple scuffs here in the back. I don't remember some of these. This got hit, and then over there got hit, but once again, nothing too bad at all. But I would definitely recommend a gas tank skid. Another thing we did here is we have a trailer hitch on here, and we have a skid. And I will tell you what, I really recommend these skids that you can put into a trailer hitch if you're lucky enough to have one. Because this definitely took some hits. You come off some really big obstacles, and when you do come off those obstacles, you'll just, going slow, you'll land down on the rocks and stuff, and this just protects your bumper and back here. So I am an absolute believer of these. I love these. I started using these on my F-150 and went to Moab and was sliding down all kind of stuff. But that also protected the tire back here, so when it'll slide off of this and then just kind of drop off. So I mean, this is really working. Another thing is, this is like a little box where the wires went for towing, and this got hit and it got smashed up into the bumper up here. It was down here. So once again, not a big deal. I mean, that's not gonna really matter. You could see some rock scuffed here, and then it basically hit this, but I'll cut that off with the Sawzall or a cutoff wheel. It did kind of dent the bumper up. Nothing too major though. It's not gonna, once again, it's not gonna stop you. One thing to remember is chrome don't get you home. So think about that with your vehicle, but the Jeep did amazing. It's driving great. Got a few bumps and bruises, but overall, like I say, we have a 6.5 inch lift and 35s. Honestly, thinking about it, I mean, the trail, I think, is more of like a 37-inch trail tire. I mean, that would be better, I believe. Of course, 38s are even better, but you can do it with less. But I really feel like 37s would probably be quite a bit better. We had to winch, and we did hit some areas, but I think 37s is probably the perfect size for a trail like that. So, obviously you can do it with what I've got, but, you know, it's kind of sketchy in a few areas. The rocks are super big, and it doesn't show up on video at all. One thing I didn't have that I really wish I would have had for that trail is this the AW4 transmission pan here. We actually I have a skid plate for this that I'm gonna bolt on, but I didn't get around to it. So that, you know, it's kind of hard for a rock to get up in there, but it certainly could. But I found a pretty good skid plate for pretty cheap, so I will be putting that on in the future. Another thing I didn't have is a transfer case skid plate. I had to get in the new mount, so I didn't want to obviously get the skid plate in here until I get the mount in. So that's, you know, down the road. This is just cast aluminum, so if a big rock did come up and hit it, it probably would shatter and then it would drain out. So it'd be you'd be seriously hitting the mouth. So I will get a skid plate at one point. Looked like at one point they did have one on here. I don't know where it went. There's some holes in here, but this is a Rusty's suspension, so I'm just going to get a Rusty's skid plate for the transfer case down the road eventually. But you know, more armor is better. You know, if you don't have it, you just have to be more careful, basically. And like I say, ride up on the rocks and lever up your differentials, lever all this up so you're not landing on it, you know, and go really slow. After running the trail and thinking about it, honestly, I really feel like 37s would probably be quite a bit better for that trail. It's just got some really big rocks and obstacles, and in videos it don't show it at all. Like, you got to get there and look at it. But I'm really happy with how the Jeep did. It just ran perfect there. It ran the trail perfect, and then it went back perfect. I mean, it did a great job. These Dana 30s and these Chrysler 8 1/4, I mean, I feel like they're a great axle. You just got to be careful with them and take it easy, and that's what I did. And then we got the CV axles in there. I had spare axles with me. I had the factory axles with new Spicer U-joints with me, so if I did break one, I could pop one of them in. And I was also carrying a spare axle in the rear with differential fluid and a full cleanup kit. So I had pretty much my bases covered if something broke. But honestly, I feel like the Dana 30 high pinion and the Chrysler 8 1/4 is a really good axle, as long as you just take it slow. So if you want to stomp it up mud obstacles and rock, slippery mud and stuff, nah, they're gonna break. But here in Colorado, we just don't have a lot of that, and I'll just soon winch because I don't feel like breaking on a trail. I've done that before and it's no fun. So anyway, that's the little overview of what you can expect to Holy Cross. It can, you know, there's a lot of people that have broke down on that and broken axles and smashed up their vehicles and rolled. I can see why now. It's a long day, and you want to take your time and get there rested and just assume you're going to be there for quite a while. Unless you just got a massive rig, you know, on 40s, you can just fly up everything, but we don't have that. So we got this, it works great. We're going to get a Jeep badge of honor for this trail. We got to wait 8 to 12 weeks, but we're going to stick it on this bad boy. Appreciate the views, comments, subscribing. I appreciate all that. And stay tuned for more. Thank you.